So, good day everyone. I am Jamie Alwale H. Aglayan.
I am Kenneth Jones Vitrano.
So, our topic for today is about Republic Act number 9165.
Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002.
So,
What is Republic Act number 9165? This act, consisting of 101 sections, provides for importation of dangerous drugs and controlled precursors and essential chemicals. It establishes offenses and penalty according to the different dangerous drug, regardless of the quantity and purity involved. Republic Act number 9165, the Dangerous Drug Act of 2002, or the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002 as amended by RA number 10640, repealed the Dangerous Drugs Act of 1972, is currently the governing law of prohibiting drugs. Drugs can cause great harm to your body, especially once you are addicted. Drug addiction can cause hair loss, bad breath, stained teeth, liver disease, and can also lead to brain damage. But it's not just your health that can be affected by drug abuse.
what is the purpose of enacting RA 9165? RA 9165 safeguards the well-being of people, particularly the youth, from the harmful effect of the dangerous drug. So, what is the purpose of enacting RA 19? So, person involved either in the trafficking or using the dangerous drugs and other similar substances.
So, how does the state pursue its anti-drug policy through RA 9165? The state pursues its anti-drug policy through RA 9165 by apprehending persons involved in the trafficking and use of dangerous drugs and imposing the appropriate penalty as provided in the Act, achieving a balance in the National Drug Control Program so that people with legitimate medical needs are not prevented from being treated with adequate amounts of appropriate medications that include the use of dangerous drugs, and providing sustainable program of treatment and rehabilitation to those who have fallen victims to drug abuse or dangerous drug dependence.
So, who are the so-called dangerous drugs? So, RA 9165 provides several lists of all known dangerous drugs and their associated substances. Here, however, are some of the most commonly abused substances. So, marijuana, basta kahit anong klase ng marijuana.
Then methamphetamine hydrochloride, or commonly known as shabu, ice or meth, opium, morphine, heroin, cocaine or cocaine hydrochloride. What constitutes trafficking and use of dangerous drugs? Trafficking refers to cultivation, culture, delivery, administration, dispensation, manufacture, sale, trading, transportation, distribution, importation, exportation, and possession of any dangerous drugs and controlled substances.
Use refers to any act of injecting, consuming, or any other means through which dangerous drugs are introduced into the psychological system of the body. So, what are the punishable acts referred to by trafficking and use and their corresponding penalties? So, punishable act. First is importation. A. Dangerous drugs.
So the penalty is life imprisonment to death plus fine of 500,000 to 10 million pesos.
So, letter B is controlled precursors and essential chemical.
The penalty is imprisonment of 12 to 20 years plus fine of 100,000 to 500,000 pesos.
So, acts A and B through the use of a diplomatic passport.
So the penalty is maximum penalty plus death plus fine of 10 million pesos.
As financer of Act A and B,
The penalty is maximum penalty plus death plus fine of 10 million pesos.
As prosecutor of Act A and B,
Imprisonment of 12 to 20 years plus fine of 100,000 pesos to 500,000 pesos.
sale, trading, administration, dispensation, delivery, distribution, and transportation. So, A, dangerous drugs.
The penalty is life imprisonment to death plus fine of 500,000 pesos to 10 million pesos.
So, B is controlled precursor and essential chemical.
The penalty is imprisonment of 12 to 20 years plus fine of 100,000 pesos to 500,000 pesos.
So, if Act A and B transpires ba? With 100 meter from school,
The penalty is maximum penalty plus death plus fine of 10 million pesos.
so this is also punishable act and penalties. And number 3, the maintenance of din, dive, or resort. Then the number 4 is employees and knowing visitors of din, dive, or resort. So number 5, manufactures. Yan. Yan ang punishable act and penalties niya. And
Next is under the act of who are required to undergo drug testing. So the persons, applicants for driving license, type of drug testing required is mandatory. Also in applicants for firearms license and or permit to carry firearms outside residence, mandatory also. And students of secondary and tertiary schools, random, pursuant to the rules in the school's student handbook and with notice to the parents expenses of which will be borne by the government.
so
And number 4, officers and employees of public and private offices. The type of testing required is random as contained in the company's work rules and regulations, which will be borne by the employer. And number 5 is officers and members of the military, police, and the other law enforcement agencies. The testing required is mandatory and annually. And number 6, all persons charged before the prosecutor's office with a criminal offense having an impossible penalty of imprisonment of not less than 6 years and 1 day, mandatory. And last, all candidates for public office, whether appointed or elected both in the national or local government, the testing required is mandatory also.
So that's who are required to undergo drug testing. So what happens when any one of the above are found positive from the dangerous drugs? So they shall be subjected to the provision of Section 15 on the use of dangerous drugs, where the violator upon first offense will be penalized with a minimum of 6 months rehabilitation in the government center, and upon second offense will be penalized with imprisonment of 6 to 12 years and fine from 50,000 to 200,000 pesos.
So what does the Act say about the participation of the family, students, teachers, and school authorities in the enforcement of the new drug laws? First, A, the family. The family, being the basic unit of the Filipino society, shall be primarily responsible for the education and awareness of the members of the family on the ill effects of dangerous drugs and close monitoring of its members who may be susceptible to drug abuse. And B, all students, councils, and campus organizations of elementary, secondary, and tertiary schools shall include in their activities a program for a prevention of and deterrence in the use of dangerous drugs as well as referrals for treatment and rehabilitation of students for drug independence.
So C is curricula of all elementary, secondary, and tertiary public and private schools, whether general, technical, vocational, or ag- agro agroindustrial, shall integrate instruction on drug abuse prevention and control. Such instruction shall be included. So these are.
Next is all heads, supervisors, and teachers of schools shall deem persons in authority and as such are hereby empowered to apprehend, arrest, or cause the apprehension or arrest of any person who shall violate any of the said provisions. They shall be deemed persons in authority if they are in the school or within its immediate vicinity or even beyond such immediate vicinity if they are in attendance at any school or class function in their official capacity as school heads, supervisors, and teachers.
So does the act also cover out of school youth? Yes. With the assistance of Dangerous Drugs Board, the Department of the Interior and Local Government or the DILG, the National Youth Commission or NYC, and the Department of Social Welfare and Development PSWD shall establish in their provincial office a special education drug center for out of school youth and the street children. Such center, which shall be headed by the Provincial Social Welfare Development Officer, shall sponsor drug prevention programs, activities, and information campaigns for the purpose of educating out-of-school youth and street child on the pern- pernicious effect of drug abuse, and the programs initiated by the center shall likewise be adopted in the all public and private orphanages and existing special centers for street child. And that's
That's
all.
all.
Thank
Thank you.
you.